Okay, let's get started. I nodded to him, and we started a spring cleaning, as if we clean every single thing in a house. Usually we are outside home because of work, and don't have a chance to do a cleaning like this. So we rolled our sleeves. At this moment, I never thought this would happen. I'm Sally. I'm a 48 years old part-time housewife. My husband, Ryan, is office worker as old as me. We have a son, but he's been away from us since he started working, so now it's just two of us. It was about 5 years ago when we started living in this house. My father-in-law got sick, and Ryan said he wants to see to check in on him as much as possible, so we moved in the apartment near his parents' house. However, his father passed away a year later. Even so, we didn't have much reason to move out, so we still live in here. In his parents' house, my mother-in-law Mary still live alone, and it's just 5 minutes walk away. She likes taking care of Popel. It sounds nice, but, to be honest, she just wants people to appreciate her. Ryan told me that she tended to be like that even before, but after her husband passed away, it got worse. Mary loves her son and dependent on him. She honestly wants him to live with her. She doesn't like me, but she haven't said anything to me in person because she's scared to be disliked by her son. What surprised me the most was that she brought Ryan a handmade scarf. It has a big heart in the middle, and his name was on it. I even turned off. What's more, she said to him, Sally is always busy with work and doesn't do housework. You should get divorced with her, and let's live together. That's what she said. However, Ryan didn't like her being so pussy and trying to gain his favor, so he told her to leave us alone. After that, I think it got better a bit. It seems that she didn't want to be hated by him. That is not the only reason why she is annoying to me. The other day, Mary said, my friend's friend gave me, so this is for you, and brought me a lot of vegetables. But it looked clearly spoiled, and I can't use for cooking. I tried to refuse them with respect, but she said, are you trying to embarrass me? My friend's friend made them with heart. To me, a friend's friend is not Mary's friend, so she doesn't have to be embarrassed. That's what I thought. But it seems like she didn't feel the same way. What's more, please have this, I made you. She said so and brought me strange foods all of a sudden. I ate them, but they tasted awful. I don't know if she did it on purpose, or she brought me because it tastes bad, but anyway, she always said, I like taking care of people, but what she does is mostly troublesome. She is strongly seeking approval from others. I understand her husband is gone, and it made her feel lonely, so I kept my mouth shut, but I think I need to say something to her before my patience runs out. Anyway, those things have happened, and I told Ryan a few days ago. Mary should stop coming to our house without notice, right? Especially, she often brings food without checking with me in advance. I'm little annoyed by this. Will you say something to her, please? Then, he, who spends less time at home than me, said, really? I thought she has always come with short notice. He looked surprised. Next day, I got phone call from Mary during work. She usually doesn't do that, so I thought something bad happened, and I answered immediately. Then, Sally? I'm going to make curry tonight, so what time are you going home? I will bring it to you, she said to me on the phone, and my mind went blank. No, that's not what I meant. Probably, Ryan told Mary about what we talked yesterday. I didn't say, bring me food after telling me. What I really wanted to say is, don't come without notice, and I don't need your refreshments. But probably, Ryan said so to her. I also told her that I have to work overtime tonight, so I don't know what time I can leave, and I have leftover, so she doesn't have to bring food. However, okay then, I will leave them in front of the door, she said so and ignored my refuse, and she hung up the phone. And when I went home, I found curry in container was placed by the entrance. I don't know when she put it. The container was directly placed on the ground. I'm worried about sanitary conditions. I don't even want to eat it all. I thought I need to tell Ryan what exactly happened. I talked to Ryan, who came home a little later me, about what happened today. And then he said, "What? I didn't tell my mom yet about what we talked. I was gonna talk to her on weekend." It's strange, because I thought he already talked to her. From that day, when I said, "Will you go to the supermarket tomorrow with me because there will be a time-light sale?" To him, I run into Mary in the supermarket, and when he told me, I got movie tickets. The evening this weekend. And then, we run into her in movie theater. How strange. Every time that happened, I asked her how she found out where we are, but she just said, "Bues, I've heard about sale, because I've heard this movie is good." Same as before, she often comes to my house. I tried to bring my phone with me at all time, because I thought, maybe she uses my phone when I am away, but nothing has changed. We thought, it's kind of creepy, but we still don't know why. And the day we started a spring cleaning. Okay, this is the last. We cleaned our bedroom at last, and we found something on the outlet, which we don't usually use. We knew there's outlet in the corner of the room, but we don't usually use outlets in the bedroom, so we didn't need that. However, something we don't know was on outlets. We wondered, "What's this?" And Ryan held it in his hand and pulled out. He stared at that thing, and his face went pale. I didn't know what was happening, and looked at him with a frowning face. And he put the thing on the floor, and made a gesture to me to get out of the room. I left the bedroom and went to the living room, and he whispered to me, "Maybe that was eavesdropping device." What? To his surpring word, I frowned my eyebrows. Ryan asked me one more time if I recognized that thing, but I don't recognize it all. I remembered, Ryan and I watched TV together, and that program was about eavesdropping device. It said that it is the common case. And eavesdropping device was in our bedroom. It means somebody went into the room. Who on earth did that? For what? Ryan and I looked at each other and discussed if we should call the police. When I was so disgusted and scared by this, the doorbell rang. The visitor was Mary. "Hey, take this, Ryan. Sweater, it's been cold outside. This makes you warm. You should wear." Mary gave a sweater to Ryan with a smiley face. "What's more," she said, "you can't catch a cold again, right?" When I heard this, I wondered maybe. I made her go home, saying, "We are in the middle of cleaning and when it's done, we will wax the flue." It takes more than half a day. So we will stay at a hotel tonight. After that, when I talked to Ryan, he said he feels the same way. Should we call the police, even if she is a part of a family? I whispered to him. He frowned as well. But if we call the police, it is embarrassing. And we still don't know the purpose. We suspected that Mary did this. We had so many questions, like, how did she get into the room? What did she do it for? But lately we run into her a lot at the places where we talked about in the bedroom. And I also wondered why she know that Ryan caught a cold, because we didn't tell her in person. We assumed that she is the one who did this, but before we ask her or call the police, we need proofs that she did this. After some discussions with him, he came up with some ideas and said, "You can leave it to me." Then he headed to the bedroom. He moved eavesdropping device to another room and plugged it to outlet. He covered it with newspaper and put a fan in front of it. I didn't know why he did it, but he got out of the room and explained to me. Cover it with newspaper, and wind hit to it, then eavesdropping device catches noisy sounds. If she hear that sound, she must think it broke. It makes sense. If she thinks it's broken, she must come to fix it. Let's wait and see for a few days. If she visits here, by making some excuses, she might get into the room, secretly. If that happens, we can witness, and make things clear. We thought it would be better to wait and see for a while, but the incident happened sooner than we expected. I told Mary before that we stay at a hotel, but considering the situation, we decided not to wax, and canceled all plans and stayed at home. At midnight, I heard the entrance door opened. Ryan and I were surprised, and looked at each other. And the door of the bedroom opened. At that moment, I turned lights on. Mary was standing there. "You said, you guys stay at a hotel tonight." She said so and looked frozen. I said, "I canceled plans. Because eavesdropping device was found in this house. We did some work and made it look broken. So, we thought the criminal might come to check." When I said so, she stepped back. However, Ryan didn't miss it. He took the key from her hand. "I didn't give you a spare key, right?" he said to her, and her face went pale. "Oh, I thought you got into the bedroom when you visited this house, but you did it with a spare key and put eavesdropping device, didn't you?" I glared at Mary. She was like, "What are you talking about?" So I brought eavesdropping device. We covered it with newspaper, sent wind by a fan. If you heard, it must be noisy sounds. You thought it's broken, and came here to check, right? I said it strongly, but she turned away, and said nothing. I was getting frustrated. It's so stupid, but some people put eavesdropping device to bully daughter-in-law. Were you looking for my weakness or something? Or you wanted to know about Ryan more and see him? We run into each other very often because you knew where we planned to go, right? I understand you feel alone after your husband passed away, but this is too much. Even if I told her, she didn't look at me. I continued. Also, there's no way putting food in container directly on the ground without a bag. It's dangerous and not clean at all. I had to throw away eventually, and it's wasting food. We don't want lots of vegetables in a bad condition. We can't use them all anyway. Ryan, who was just listening, noted and opened his mouth. Exactly. And it's scary when you come to our house all of a sudden, or you wait in ambush. To be honest, you are troublesome. His word hurt her so much. She started sobbing. Because since your father passed away, you haven't visited to my house that much, have you? I was glad that you called me, but you said don't bring food. It made me sad, of course. Why did you like only your father, not me? I wanted you to come see me. That's why I visited you guys a lot. And yeah, that's right. If I bring you what you guys need, I thought you guys would appreciate me. But lately, you didn't even say thank you. She started crying hard. I don't even know what she's trying to say, but I assume that she just really wanted to see her son and to be appreciated. Her desire for approval is too strong. It is true that Ryan liked his father more than his mother, but I also know that there is a reason for that. Maybe Mary forgot about it. I was so frustrated because she was acting like a victim by crying. Yes, of course, I liked Dad more than you, because he did all housework while working and took care of me well, unlike you going out all the times. In fact, Mary have loved going out with friends since Ryan was a kid, and she was away from home many times. Even so, his father thought a child needs mother. So he didn't consider getting divorced, but Ryan clearly said his father is the one he appreciated the most. I don't know if he realized, but Ryan told me that Mary also cheated on him. As Mary gets old, her husband died, and don't have enough money to spend freely. The guys she used to hang out left her, so she started to contacting with Ryan. Ryan nodded and agreed with what I said. Right. So, why do I appreciate you? Honestly, I considered moving out when Dad passed away, but Sally said she's worried about you since you are quite old now, and advised me to visit and see you sometimes. That's why I decided to stay here. You are the one who should thank Sally, aren't you? She started crying again, and repeatedly said she felt lonely. When I heard that, I just responded without thinking. If you are lonely, you think it's okay to put eavesdropping device or commit a crime. I said it with a serious face. Ryan followed me saying, it's so embarrassing, but should we call the police? She doesn't even apologize. At that moment, she completely stopped crying. No. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I apologize, so please don't be so dramatic. I couldn't help laughing, because she looked so miserable. Then what was your purpose? It's so weird for you to make a spare key, and no one thinks putting eavesdropping device in someone's house. It is creepy. From now on, please never approach us again. And Ryan kicked her out of the house, saying, if you don't want us to call the police, please just don't cause us troubles. After that, Ryan and I talked, and decided to move out. Of course, we didn't tell Mary where we go, or we didn't tell her about our moving. In fact, Ryan got promotion, but we couldn't decide it because we have to move to different prefecture. This time, we decided to take it. We didn't call the police, so Mary gave us some money for an apology, and said, this is over, right? We received money, but she didn't seem to feel sorry, so we decided to break off relations with her. We asked the lawyer to make documents, and gave them to Mary, and we moved out. I heard she is depressed because of our moving, but she has to pay the price. We are not here to fulfill her desire for approve. The place we moved to is near where John lives, so we can see him more often now. I love him, of course. But he is grown-up man, so I didn't understand at all why Mary was dependent on her son. Anyway, John told us that he wants to marry one woman, so now I am looking forward to it. I learned a lesson from Mary, so I want to make a good relationship with his wife as much as possible.